Hello, Palo Alto. Today is Friday, December 11th, 2020, and InFocus starts right now.
Embarcadero Road. Walk sign is on the crossing.
Welcome to InFocus. I'm Jason Goldie. As of Sunday, Santa Clara County, among others in California, went into a stricter lockdown as ICUs across the state rose closer to capacity. One question that many students and people in general have is how unique COVID-19 truly is. A century ago, the 1918 influenza or Spanish flu pandemic had a similar impact on everyday life. InFocus reporter Stella Essenmacher investigates the epidemiology and history behind the notorious Spanish flu pandemic.
A century ago, as World War I was raging in Europe, the 1918 influenza, commonly referred to as the Spanish flu, infected one-third of the global human population. It killed 50 million people, including President Donald Trump's grandfather. Dr. Lisa Winston, the hospital epidemiologist for the San Francisco General Hospital, explains why the pandemic was so severe.
There were probably two big things that happened. One was that we didn't have immunity to it because we hadn't seen it before. And the other thing is that in young, healthy people, it made people have this really robust immune response. And that immune response caused a lot of inflammation.
The World Health Organization recently banned naming viruses after the country they are believed to originate from. Steve Steiger, a historian for the Palo Alto Historical Association, explains how the Spanish flu mistakenly received its name.
In Spain, in 1918, they were a neutral country. So their newspaper reporters and everything were reporting this devastating illness that was killing or at least making terribly sick hundreds of thousands of Spanish citizens. Well, the same thing was going on in Germany, France, and Britain, but the war censorship didn't tell anybody that.
The pandemic also had a substantial impact on Pali.
They had a brand new high school built, but because the epidemic reached Palo Alto in October, and so school had started, and they shut the schools down. And then late December, they reopened the schools because by then it had passed Palo Alto. And on Christmas Eve, they marched, all the students and faculty marched from the old high school to the new high school. And that's the high school that you go to.
While people at the time hardly traveled, community spreading was prevalent because of skepticism about the virus.
In the medical community, there was a lot of initial reaction to say, oh no, it's just the flu. We don't have to worry about it. So it did take a long time in the medical community for people to kind of appreciate how severe it was. I think especially the people who were in charge of the war effort, who didn't want that to be interrupted.
The 1918 influenza is one of many strains of influenza viruses. Since these strains often change their behavior, the flu vaccine needs to be altered and re-administered every year. Doctors hope that the insights gained through developing the COVID-19 vaccine will make the flu vaccine more efficient. For InFocus, I'm Stella Essenmacher.
Thanks for that, Stella. As finals approach next week, many students look forward to a long break from online learning and anxiety as a result of virtual finals. InFocus reporter Ellie Roth has more on what students can do to enhance the virtual learning experience.
For 4 months, we have been entirely online for our learning experience at Pali. This is different than any learning experience we've had before 2020, so it's caused separate effects on all students. Today, we will be interviewing a 9th grade advisor as well as the Wellness Center about their aspects on virtual learning, and most importantly, some tips they have to share to help us succeed for the remainder of the year.
We had a feeling it would last a long time.
I think the one thing that this pandemic has taught us is not to expect anything or not to get attached to any one outcome. So even if we make plans for the future, we make them knowing that they could change.
Yeah, definitely. I had no idea it would last this long, and I don't think a lot of people were prepared for 9 months of shelter in place. But time has passed by really strangely. It's like March, February, you know.
Maybe some people expected it would last longer than the 3 weeks, but when we were first told that we wouldn't be going back to school, I doubt anybody predicted it would last this long. So the real question is, how is it affecting the students all these months later?
Sadly, I think perhaps there are more students who are being negatively affected academically because of distance learning.
So we're definitely seeing that some students are doing really well with distance learning and some are struggling. And so we're just trying to support any student that we can.
This experience has been very different for all of us. Whether online school has affected you positively or negatively, Mr. Kroll and the Wellness Center have a few helpful tips on how you can hold on for the rest of the year by being prepared in school.
Some tips, I would say Monday, after you have your 7 classes and you know what's in store for the week. Personally, I'm a big fan of a physical agenda. Definitely take advantage of any chance to get up and move around. Between classes, it's a must. Have a glass of water. And on the same token, don't skip lunch. A lot of us really benefit from some kind of structure. And even though we don't have the campus there, we can still create a few routines. On a similar note, maybe scheduling some things that you look forward to every week. A lot of us love Netflix and maybe playing video games, but I think it might be wise to maybe tune that down a little bit. Trying to explore some new hobbies that take me away from screens, or at least like reapportioning my time spent in those screen hobbies.
In distance learning, getting a good amount of sleep, eat well, and trying to move and like get some exercise, whether that's like moving outside, getting that fresh air. Not to wait until you're like super overwhelmed and stressed out, but you can always reach out if you need support with anything. If it's a one-time drop-in, or if you'd like to have ongoing support, you're welcome to.
Try to maintain a schedule. I know it can be hard on the weekends or on the days when school starts at 10 o'clock to get up at the same time every day, but that is important in maintaining consistency for your mental health. And then also, if you can, work in 30-minute increments, so 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So that 5-minute break should be a moving break, whether that's doing some yoga or dancing around your room or just going for a quick walk around the block. If it's available to you, going out into nature is really great. It can be really healing and grounding, and it's a great opportunity to take a break from those screens.
Being on screens too much, like I've noticed in my shoulders and my neck, like I've been doing this, hunching thing more, and so trying to like work on my own posture, but definitely it helps to like take those breaks. Maybe during lunch, to connect to a friend, you like call them up and like you go for a walk instead of like sitting in front of a Zoom screen again. Trying to be creative that way to get connected.
All of those tips are ways that can really help you feel more in control of your learning during online school, so try to keep those in mind to make your situation a little bit less stressful. Those tips can let you feel more motivated and in control of your learning.
If you're struggling, if you need support, reach out. I know it's not easy to ask for help, but you don't necessarily have to reach out to the Wellness Center for strangers to you. You can reach out to your teacher. You can reach out to your TA, your grade level school counselor, case manager, school psych, a parent, your pediatrician. There's lots of adults who can help get you connected to support. And we're here.
There's lots of different things that you can do to like, dig into your coping toolbox and like see like what are the activities that you do to like kind of keep you afloat and keep your mental health and well-being going. We're here to help you through any kind of situation, and you can speak to a counselor and it's totally confidential, and we're here to support and listen and help you through any situation.
If you are experiencing any challenges and need support in your life, do not be afraid to reach out to any of these helplines or the Wellness Center. Thank you. From InFocus, I'm Ellie Roth.
That does it for today's show. Be sure to check out our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch previous content. Follow us on Instagram to engage with our content, and Twitter for updates and breaking news. Until next time, I'm Jason Goldie, and this has been InFocus.